Hey, Darin, congratulations on the win tonight. I know it was a short turnaround coming off that Florida State game the other night, but obviously you guys were able to come away with the win, even though Cincinnati made their run late. I guess what did Coach tell you? What did he like the most about your performance tonight?
We just stayed in it and we didn't give up. We fought for 40 minutes. They were a good team, desperate team who fought for 40 minutes. It was just about who wanted it more when it came down to it at the end.
Darin's always intense when you play Cincinnati. I don't know what it is about you two teams going at it every year. It seems like there's always a big, intense game. What's it like to be a part of that and keeping your composure there as you guys did with such a physical game and a lot of whistles?
It's fun, to compete with another good team. They're a good team, good shooters. The point guard was good getting inside the paint. It's just fun seeing, the outcome as a W.
Darin, how much fun was it in that second half when you guys kind of stretched that lead? Brandon Mahan was making some unbelievable long shots there. I think you guys were leading by 13 at one point. How much fun was that as you kind of built that big lead?
It's fun just watching Brandon do his thing. Once he gets going, it's hard to stop him. So, once we know he hits those first couple shots, it's on.
Take me through the halftime you're there. You guys really finished the half strong, and you came out and blitzed them a little bit, got up on them big. What was the big turning point there early in that second half when you guys kind of got some distance between them?
Our motto is hit first. So we try to come out and hit first we try to even start the game off like that.
Darin, just kind of talk about these last couple of weeks. Obviously, you started off the season really strong with the win against Auburn. Had that game in Michigan, wasn't your best game, and then had a little long layoff. Didn't play for a little while, almost 2 weeks. Obviously, coming off that big win against Florida State. What did that kind of do for your confidence? I know you probably felt confident already, but having that win in the bag coming into conference play against a team like Cincinnati, you had to feel pretty good about going into tonight.
The whole team feels good. You could tell even in practice, but we just can't be satisfied with that win. We got to keep going. We got, Houston next, and we just got to keep it rolling.
Isaiah, just a freshman, but doesn't play like a freshman. You've been through that as someone in his shoes where it's been first year playing. What do you give him advice? Do you tell him? I mean, he seems so poised. You all they're like a veteran, like you were when you were a freshman.
I told him when he first got here, like his first day moving in, I told him just stay in the gym and it's all gonna pay off. And he's in the gym every day after practice getting shots up, and he comes back to the gym at night. So it's paying off.
C.J. Walker in the first half, he posterized the one guy from Cincinnati on that dunk. What did you think about that? I guess they're calling him perhaps a top 10 Sports Center play potentially.
Yeah, I know. You guys are gonna see many more of those from C.J. just because he's probably like one of the best athletes in the country, and the best athlete that I played with. So, I'm sure you guys are gonna see way more posters from C.J.
Darin, just kind of what are your thoughts? You only have a few days to get ready for a huge game coming up on Saturday. You got Houston. I think they're number 6 in the country. Every game's pretty much been tough. You played this year. Just what are your early thoughts on for another huge conference test?
We just got to approach it like any other game. Hit first, which is our motto, and play unselfish and just pretty much keep doing what we're doing. We got to, of course, rebound better, hit the boards better, and, clean up our mistakes, and we should be good.
Where do you feel? Do you feel like your team's chemistry is maybe like really now in a good spot right now? Because obviously everything you've dealt with, and you had the 2 weeks off after the Michigan game that wasn't, beyond your control. I feel like you guys are really close knit, and it's really showing on the court because you're not phased. Like you made big plays down the stretch, even when Cincinnati made the run on you.
I know our chemistry is definitely, there, and it's getting better, especially with Darius Perry on the court. He controls the game. And that's what we need, a point guard to control the game, especially at the end, like close games like that.
Thanks, Darin. We've got Isaiah next.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Oh.
Isaiah, congratulations on the win. I know you're only 4 games, I guess, into your college career, but you look pretty comfortable out there. Are you feeling comfortable going through these games?
Yeah, I'm feeling real comfortable out there because from the beginning, before we even started playing, Coach Dawkins just gave me a whole bunch of confidence and telling me like just to play my game. So I just went out there and do everything that I'm capable of doing, and it's paying off.
Tell me about the second half. What changed for you there? You got going there in the second half, both offensively. You had some big defensive plays there. You got aggressive. What changed for you in the second half compared to after the slow start in the first half?
Yeah, in the first half, the reason because I was in foul trouble. He didn't want to get my third foul coming to the halftime, so he kept me out and just kept me going for the second half, knowing that for me, for the team, I'm like like an energy guy for the team to get us defensively going. So he just wanted to come in and then the second half because in the first half it was a close game. So to come in defensively and like turn the energy up. We didn't have a lot of energy, so when we turned the energy up, then we started to grow a lead. And then, so that's really what I wanted to do, just come out there and pick the energy up for the whole team.
Isaiah, obviously you started off the season with a win against Auburn, didn't have the greatest game at Michigan. Then you had that long layoff where you didn't play. Obviously just, coming off that win the other night at FSU late Saturday night. What did that do for the team's confidence? Just proving to yourselves that you could, beat high-level teams coming in tonight. Did that do a lot for your confidence coming into tonight?
Yeah, beating FSU did a lot for our confidence, just to let us know, that like, we're not just a team that's out here playing. Like, we're really here and we're trying to make a name and earn respect. Because it's not, like Coach say all the time, it's not given, it's earned. So we coming out here playing these big-name teams. Like, we got Houston coming up. I'm prepared for that game. And we just coming out, just letting them know that we just not no knockoff. We're going to come out and play basketball.
Thing that's impressed me about you've got a lot of variety in your game. You don't just settle for jump shots. You got a post-up game, which you went to, especially in the second half. Cincinnati really didn't have an answer for that. You could drive. Just talk about the variety of the game there, because you feel comfortable there, it seems like, in the paint there, either posting up or driving.
Yeah, I tend to, like, do that and want to be a variety, like, all-around player for the team and just transition my game to, like, for the future, which I want to do, is go to the NBA and be able to be out there and be an all-around guy and be able to do everything on the floor. Because it's hard to figure out what you're going to do with somebody who can do everything on the floor. So I just try to just do everything I can offensively and defensively. So just be like a two-way guy.
You guys, I think, built a 13-point lead with about 8.5 minutes left. Cincinnati obviously made a run. I'm sure they always were. But what did Coach talk to you guys about, letting them back in it? Do you feel like you guys maybe coasted it a little bit? You thought the game was in hand. What do you think kind of happened in that last 8 minutes or so?
In the last 8 minutes, I feel like we talked about it and everything. The thing that happened was they came out just more aggressive than we did. When they came out of the media timeout or whatever, they came out more aggressive than we did and came to just because they were down. So they came with more energy and more fight than we did in that span. But I feel like Coach said, over time, like as we weathered the storm with their run, and we continue to make plays of our own to like keep the lead and not let them come back and regain the lead in the game.
You got a taste of conference play for the first time, especially a UCF Cincinnati game, being physical there, a lot of talking, a lot of emotion, if you will. What was it like for you being a part of it for the first time? And did you have to adjust to it a little bit? You mentioned you got the quick fouls early. Did you have to kind of adjust to how the game was going?
I did have to adjust how the game was going as far as the refs and like the fouls. That part I did have to adjust to, but the talking and the aggression of the game, that part it just comes natural. I'm gonna come out and I'm gonna compete every time I'm on the floor. So that part was just a little natural, but just knowing when to go and when not to with fouls and stuff, and they're calling it a little bit more. So that was what I had to adjust to.
How would you rate C.J. Walker's dunk in the first half?
Man, oh my, CJ. I knew I would give it like a 10. I mean, I got to, but I knew it was coming. As soon as he beat the big man off the bounce at half court, I was like, oh yeah, we already stood up. We knew it was coming. Like, his bounce so ridiculous. It's crazy.
Thanks, Isaiah.
All right, thank you. Oh.
You need a water or anything?
Yeah, if you could give me one, thank you.
Hey, Coach, congratulations on the team's win tonight.
Thank you.
Obviously, you guys built up that lead midway point of the second half. Cincinnati made their run, which we probably knew they were always going to do. You guys were able to hold on at the end with some big plays. What did you like most about your team, gritting out tonight's performance?
I like their poise at the end of the game. Cincinnati is a good basketball team, and as you said, they were going to make a run. They made their run, and we need the guys to step up and make big plays. And several guys did that for us. And so, just really happy to see their poise. You have to have that type of composure at the end of a ball game, and I think we showed that we've been growing up some.
Made plays down the stretch. You made plays at the end of the first half and at the start of the second half. Those first 5 minutes and the last 5 minutes of halves. I know you've talked about how important that is in the past, and I thought that was critical today. Mayhem making that 3-point play at the end of the half. You were down 5, got it to even, and then you got a great start in the second half. What did you see there from that end of the first half to that start of the second half that you kind of really turned the game around?
Well, I mean, like I said, they were a physical, big team, and I think we started having opportunities to try to touch the paint a little more, driving it, trying to, create situations where our guys that can get to the rim, and I thought that kind of opened some stuff up for us. We got to the rim and we didn't have it where we kick it out for shots. Guys got some good looks, so I think that combination of guys being aggressively trying to attack the paint and also playing unselfishly.
And Cincinnati made their run, which, like I said, we knew they were going to do that. Do you think the team did they ease off a little bit when they saw they had a big lead? Is that something you're going to harp on with them, going into practice as they look at, and maybe Cincinnati just fought a little bit harder?
No, absolutely. We have to talk about it. But, me, I'm always going to give the other team credit. I mean, one, they came out with a really good determination, and we have to match that. And we have to get better in that area. Like I said, we're still trying to find out who we are. I think guys are still trying to find out their roles and so forth. So we're going to talk about a lot of those things when we watch the tape, how guys can help us more in those situations. But as you say, it definitely, they definitely, had more of a sense of urgency down that stretch, and we have to be better, during that time as well.
One guy that has not had issues with the urgency is Brandon. I mean, continues again, double-double, makes big plays for you down the stretch in games like he has all season. Just amazing maturity from him and on-the-court leadership and production.
No, definitely. He's been terrific. As I said before, I'm just really proud of him. Not even for the points that he scored tonight, but the rebounds. I mean, we needed someone to help us on the boards, and I thought he stepped up and made a great contribution. Like I said, couldn't be more happy for him as a player because I know how hard he works, how much time he puts in on his game, and you like to see a young man have success and rewarded for that effort, and I think we're seeing that.
More on Brandon Mahan. Did you have any clue that he was kind of in store for the season he's had? Obviously, you're a little bit of a boy with Colin, leadership wise and everything scoring, but the way he's been able to play, especially offensively, is this something you maybe saw coming? I mean, he's showing more offense than we saw all last season.
Well, we were hopeful. As you remember, last year he showed flashes. He showed flashes of that where he would have a game where it's like, oh my gosh, and then he would step back. He wouldn't keep asserting himself. And so we really had a heart to heart about him asserting himself. He's a really good player and go out there every night, and become consistent at what you do. Not a night where you have a great night and 5 or 6 nights, we don't see you and then you come back. I think he took all that to heart. He knew he had the talent and he went out there and really performed that way.
Isaiah had that early foul, 2 fouls, sat some of the first half, but found himself in that second half. A lot of young players would never be able to find their game if, they get some fouls early, don't adjust to the game. But he seemed to adjust, and you went to him late in the games, inside and posting up. Just some amazing experience, maturity for a kid that's just a freshman.
No, absolutely. He loves to compete, first of all. So I think when you're a competitor, as I said before, anytime you're going to throw the ball up, practice or game, that's what you're going to see right there from Isaiah. So, when you put him in the game, he's already ready to go. I mean, and yeah, is he going to make some mistakes as a freshman? Absolutely. But, he's not going to make mistakes. He's not going to make those mistakes because he's timid. He's going to make those mistakes because he's aggressive all the time. And I like that about him.
Darius Perry obviously not being available the early part of the season. Obviously, he caught back for the last game against Florida State. Is it going to take a little bit more time for him to kind of get in rhythm with his teammates and everything else?
Definitely. And it's just being out there. When you've been out as long as he's been out, and then we start the season with the schedule that we've had, I mean, that's tough for anyone. And so it's going to be a process for him. And he's going to play through it, which he will, and he's going to be successful at the end of the day from it.
Defensively, you caused havoc. You forced, I think, 19 turnovers, got some charges, especially early in the game when you were still finding your rhythm offensively. How do you feel about your defense performance today?
I thought at times we guarded very well. And then at times I definitely think we got to be better defensively. I thought in the second half our defense wasn't nearly as good as it was in the first, and we have to try to solve that as we start to watch film. We need 40 minutes of great defense. You know, that's what we built this program on, and we got to make sure that we honor that by coming in and playing that way for the entire game.
Coach, with Christmas coming up in a few days, I don't know if we're going to get an opportunity to ask you about Houston the day after Christmas. So just kind of wanted to get your thoughts on the Cougars coming in. Obviously been a very great program the past few years. I think they're coming in number 6 in the country.
Well, Kelvin Sampson's done an amazing job with his group. I mean, what he's done at Houston, he's transformed them to back in the days where they were one of the best programs in the nation. He's done that, you know, every year since I've been in the league. I've watched them compete at that level. So he's turned it into a national program. And as players, I love the way they play. I know they're hungry. They can compete every possession. They're going to fight you for everything you get. And that says a lot about a coach, because that's a lot of good teaching. So, no, they're going to be a really good basketball team. I've yet to see them play this year, but I already know how they're going to play because I hadn't seen them change, and I wouldn't either if I had the success he's had.
Thanks, Coach. Thanks, everyone.